Hello there! So, we are officially in the month of July. And what better way to get started than the first thing I usually do and set up my sort of month ahead journal spread here. So as you can see, I use washi tape to kind of tab off the months just so I can easily reference. So here's what we had for July. I'm pretty sure I showed most of this. But it's I've been following the same setup pretty consistently. So, let's continue, shall we? We have July. I like to start out with my decks that I want to use. Doesn't mean I am going to use those for readings, but it's just something that, I don't know, helps me keep track of things that, like, I am meaning to utilize more. And so if I am going to do my morning reading and kind of like feeling stuck on what I want to do, I have a list right here of ones like, oh yeah, I wanted to work with that. So that's what we got going on here. I've got listed the Chrysalis Tarot, Tarot Avatara, She-Wolf Tarot, which I've been working with for like a week straight now. I've been loving it. So good. The Midnight Magic Tarot, Herb Crafters, Dreams of Gaia, Crimson Asteria, the Seaweed Sisters, Stolen Child, Northern Animal, Southern Botanical, and the Wild Unknown decks, because I will officially have the full collection in a few days once my eBay order comes in. I'm very excited about it. I won't have the pocket one, so I guess I shouldn't say full collection, but I am on a Kim Crayons kick, y'all. I'm very excited about it. Alright, then next section is where I jot down the decks I am using for the monthly medicine, which is a tarot practice put on by Dawn Michelle through her Weavers membership, her channel membership. So, usually I am a bit more organized about it, where, like, in June, I put down the different weeks, the different themes for each week, and the decks I wanted to use for each of those. But I ended up last month really just, I don't know, not really using those decks, just kind of picking out, or not sticking to one set of decks for the whole week. I would kind of just pick out what I felt was right from that set of decks for each week. So something I wanted to try this month was really just taking the theme in general and pulling out just a big set of decks and just kind of being able to pick and choose from those regardless of the week, the day, seeing how that goes. So I will share more of what I'm using as we go along, but for right now, what I have is the Tarot is Color, the Abyssal Tarot, the Meraki Tarot, the Gentle Tarot, Whispering Spirits, the Iris Oracle, the Way of the Panda Tarot, the Earth Wisdom Oracle, the Heart Align Oracle, the Messenger Oracle, and the Wild Unknown Alchemy Oracle. Okay, it's quite the mouthful. Now I'm going to fold this in half because I cannot write on it otherwise, and I have to hold my paper sideways. So apologies for that for the next bit. But the next little section I make, and I'm using these glitter markers. I found them at Barnes & Noble. It's the best purchase of all time. Anyway, next we do my card of the month. And for the whole year, I did do a year ahead spread, which I have been liking. I'm not positive. It has been connecting. And I like the way that I work with it, where I am more consciously taking out that card for the month and working with it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it the same way next year. I might try out just pulling the card as I go, but anyway, I've been using the Pythonic Tarot as a way to really bond with that deck, and I've been loving it. So last month, I had the Queen of Cups. This month is the Queen of Crystals. Let me show you the actual card. That might be better. The Queen of Crystals. Isn't that cool? So we went from a queen to a queen. And for my journal, I have I print on sticker paper images of my readings, of cards. And it's been a lot of fun to do that. So let's get this stuck on in there, why don't we? My card of the month. I usually rate it. Okay, we've got the Queen of Crystals. And in this deck, that is the Queen of Pentacles. I'm very excited about that one because I do tend to really connect with that card. And so now what I usually do is go into the Pythonic Tarot guidebook and I will kind of jot down my thoughts around this specific card, but then also just think about the Queen of Pentacles in general. I'm using these, I got some new Jelly Roll pens. This is the color, I don't remember. Is there a way for me to know that? I don't know, but it's, I didn't even notice. It's, do these all, I don't have any jelly, I have one other Jelly Roll pen that I found in the airport. Let me just see. Okay, do they all have, oh no, okay, so this is special. Okay, this is, I just have like a purple one, which slay that I found purple, yes. But these are shimmer colors, and look on the side, they've got little stars. That's so fun. Okay, cool. Let's keep the purple over here too, because I really like using these. Usually I use my fountain pens for my like usual journaling in here, but for these setups I like to make them sparkly and glittery, and it's just fun. And realizing now that this color matches so perfectly with that card. Anyway, let's see what we've got for this Queen of Crystals. I really like this deck does like kind of almost like key phrases. So I like writing down what I feel like connects. So we have rest and renewal, or what I feel like will connect. I suppose I don't know how the month's gonna go, right? Right. Rest and renewal. I feel like this one kind of just goes up here. Replenishment. Ooh. Taking good care of the physical self. I really like that. And I actually feel like even just starting the month, I felt kind of this draw. I don't know if it's just how warm it is, but you know, in summer, I feel like, what am I trying to see here? I feel like when it is spring and summer, I find it much easier to eat like fruits and vegetables. I'm trying to figure out how to say that because I'm working on not adding certain labels to certain foods. That's something I'm working on. So maybe that is even what this is speaking of, taking good care of the physical self. Because I've been feeling this draw towards like, all right, we need to put some more fruits and vegetables in our bodies. Some foods that grow out of the ground. You know what I mean? But maybe in the sense of like seeing where other things are important too. I don't know. There's a lot to think about there. That just came into my brain. Sharing wealth and happiness with others. And I also, for this card, something that I think of with the Queen of Pentacles that this says is cares for others in the physical world. And what I also like here is ambition to see a great project come into manifestation. I really like that double side of this Queen of Pentacles. And the other thing that I often forget to see when I'm reading tarot, and something I've really been working on just incorporating more, is the elemental associations. And so I kind of want to write here that with this card we have the mix of earth and water, because this month, like for monthly medicine, our theme is ebb and flow, but even beyond that, Don Michelle did a vote for like what the theme was going to be, and instantly I was like, we have to do ebb and flow, please, like ebb and flow, because I've just been in such a space of really leaning into the watery side of myself, which I am not familiar with. It's something I'm really learning and working hard to learn. So, alright, I'm gonna leave that there for now. I might go back and write some more stuff. I have such a space down here. I want to do something here, but I don't know what. Let me know if you do like kind of monthly spreads like this. What do you like to add in here? Part of me wants to pull another monthly card. Like maybe since I have this year ahead spread already done, and I do want to continue with that, see it through, I could still pick an oracle and pull a card from it. Maybe we'll do like the fairies oracle and work with a fairy for the month. That could be interesting. Okay, stay tuned for that. But now, on the other side, I use a whole page for the animal gnosis, which is put on by Tegan Cosmic Creeper here on YouTube and Instagram, her Patreon. And I love it so much. And this month we have Beaver is our animal. So I will show you the cards I took out for Beaver. So usually how I like to start out the month is, we get our animal, this month being Beaver, and then I go to my animal decks and I pull out all the cards I can find with that animal. Ooh, am I going to be able to fit them all here? I'm just missing one. Okay, let's do this here. Okay, cool. And so then I look at all of these and I will read the guidebooks if there are guidebooks, or look at the keywords at least. So, yeah, I haven't fully done that, but we can look at some of these cards at least. So this is from the Wild Whiskers Oracle. We've got Busy Beaver with motivation, cooperation, efficiency. Builder of sturdy and stable structures, teach me your tenacious ways. And that is definitely a way I like to look at Beaver. We have the same thing down here. We've got building and persistence are keywords I wrote here. In the... oh my gosh. Animal Wise Tarot. The 9 of 4-leggeds, which is the Pentacles. So 9 of Pentacles, we have working for our dreams. Also, look how off-center it's printed. I don't know, it cracks me up about this deck. Working for our dreams, the 9 of Pentacles. Up here, we've got the Woodland Wardens, the Beaver and Birch with Home. This is from the... what's it called? The Medicine something? I can't think of it now. I don't have the guidebook right here, so we're just going to let that be, and I will read it later. And this is a tarot deck I created that hasn't gone much of anywhere quite yet. I do really like it. I think I had a name for it too. It was the... oh no. Tarot of Natural History, I think is what I called it, but it's basically an animal tarot deck that I made because I couldn't get this one. And so I wanted to have one keyword on it, all based around animals, but bringing in kind of that vintage style I really like. So I put Beaver as the magician with the keyword creation. And so, oh, and then this is from the Brady Tarot for the 7 of Cups with breach. Really interesting because I feel like Beaver has this energy of persistence and motivation, hard work, mixed with that magician-like energy of really bringing something to life, creating. And I love this 7 of Cups here with this keyword breach, because to me, it's really this interesting message when we think of beavers and how they build dams and how there's many times they build up a whole dam and it completely breaks apart and they instantly just start working at it again. It's this thought that we can create so many things and they're not all going to work out. Funny, because I feel like this tarot is a perfect example because it just still needs some work. It hasn't totally worked out yet. But that doesn't mean that we need to give up or feel like we're bad at something. It's sort of like every time a dam breaks, I'm sure they've learned something new of what doesn't work. Really interesting. So, let's set this up, shall we? Apologies if you hear any thunder. We're about to get a big storm, I think. And, alright, I want to set up my title. What colors do we want to use? Let's do pink and this like gold color. Might be orange. So we've got our animal gnosis. I also just really like how these markers write. Very good. And we have beaver. Fun. Okay. So, first things first is I took a picture of all those cards I pulled out, and I like to put this in there. Right at the top. And I will kind of write down my own thoughts about beaver, and then I go and read. Tegan does a whole written out post for us that is so amazing about her thoughts around each animal and sort of the inspiration to take from there. We get tarot prompts or just journaling prompts, you know, if you don't want to use tarot with it. It's so good. It's so good. So I will go through and read that after I do this. So that way it's kind of like I get my own thoughts down, and then I will write down whatever new things I learned from Tegan, and I will do my tarot spread and put it here. Like you can see in my June, how I started up here with my thoughts, and then I moved right into this tarot spread I did. So that's kind of what this page is here. And that's all I have for you all right now. I will keep you posted if I add something else to the other side. I kind of think I will. I don't know. I just love trying new things and not sticking with them. But hey, very beaver energy, isn't it? So, I will see you all again very soon, I'm sure. Hello there. So, it is currently Friday morning, and because of how I planned to sort of work with my monthly medicine decks of just kind of letting myself pick out what I was going to pick out, even if it changed from day to day, I figured it would be better, instead of showing what I'm going to use, show what I did use, since I can't predict what I'm going to use. So we're at the end of this week, and I actually did stick with the same few decks, which I do think is going to happen because I do like doing that. But for starters, so this first week is all about ebb energy. We are in our ebb and flow month, so we were working with ebb energy, which is kind of all about, when you think about ebb and flow, flow being like that state of action and doing things, ebbing time being about sort of pulling inwards, actually taking time to relax, which I am not good at. So this week definitely came to yell at me. It really did. All my readings and the cards I pulled, I was like, oh, okay, stop yelling, I get it. So for starters, the oracle I have been using, my light is so bright. I forget I keep it so bright because I use this kind of as like a desk light too, but then I'm like, okay, it's too much for the camera. So I used the Iris Oracle, which I absolutely love. It's definitely a hard-hitting deck, but something about it doesn't feel so intense as, say, like, the Reclaim Oracle is a very intense one for me. This one feels like it's not as harsh. It still is hard-hitting, don't get me wrong, but it really felt like it hit this ebb energy really well, because to me, it felt like this pulling inwards and maybe doing like kind of some shadow work, because I knew in advance that being in an ebb state is not easy for me. So that's what we did there. And then to kind of balance that energy, I used the Heart Align Affirmations Oracle, which I'm so excited about. I have been loving this so intensely. Backstory is that I keep messing with my hair here because I feel like it looks, something odd is going on. Anyway, if you hear a weird noise, our septic tank's getting pumped. Update. Sandy ordered this deck used from someone, and a lot of times she'll order it to my house so that way we can pack it all up at once. She doesn't have to keep paying crazy like international shipping. It's just like a one go, you know? So she got this used from someone, so it wasn't like packaged or anything, so I was like, can I open it and look? Because I've been thinking about this deck. And she was like, yeah, of course. And then just flipping through the cards, I immediately fell in love, and I was like, okay, since we're not sending your box right this second, can I have this one so I can use it? And I'm gonna buy her a new one because I didn't want to wait. That's how much I love it. I did not want to wait to use it. And so it is affirmations, and it's broken down into a bunch of categories, and it's got this spot gloss heart that you can kind of hold as you like think about the affirmation. It's just so good, and it's kind of in line with the Therapets I've been loving, where it feels like an affirmation deck that actually feels really healing for me. The things that this deck hits on is exactly what I need. So I balanced out with that. And the tarots I used are, because I haven't done my reading yet today. I have these pulled out because I'm about to do it. The Tarot as Color, and the Abyssal Tarot, which I love how these decks paired. There's just this really cool, I feel like this could have worked for flow energy too, but I don't know. Because I like how the colors and everything feels really watery and flowy, and just like it all mixes together in this interesting way, and these have been really good this week, so I'm excited to use these again right now. And that's all, folks. Hello. We've got some catching up to do here today, because I just didn't update anything I was doing last week. So let's start with, I just finished up the flow week from Dawn Michelle's monthly medicine, and let's talk about the decks I use. So for my oracle, I used my combined messenger, and I've got the books in here. I always just call it the messenger oracle, but it's the messenger and seeker oracle. And look at this bag I have for it. Isn't that, oh, so good. So I pulled this as my main focus card, and what did I get? I got, ooh, I loved this one. Respond with Grace. It was my focus card for Flow Week, which was all about, I mean, however you really wanted to interpret the word flow, just like, you know, how we kind of got to make our own definitions in a way of what ebbing was, or at least I discovered different thoughts around ebb and flow with this, which was really cool. And actually, which, like, I feel like a lot of us were talking about that in there. So, of course, with Flow Week, I had to use the Flow Tarot, which, look at this bag Andy made. I don't even, like, she showed me how she does these, but I don't really remember. But it's so cool. It's like this transfer. So that way it can hold the book and the deck. So neat. I'm so pleased with that. So yeah, I used the Flow Tarot, of course, for Flow Week. I love this deck. This is probably the first water-themed deck that I find myself using really consistently. I don't have many water-themed decks. Just not my thing. I've got a few that I kind of have for, like, the occasion I want a water deck, but I have to say, most of the time it's this one, and I use this one a lot. I really, really love it. I think it feels really grounded as well. Like, it doesn't just feel watery, which I talked about that in my video I made before we went on our trip to Aruba in April. how I didn't actually bring this one because it didn't feel exclusively like watery and beachy. So really loved that one, and loved it in combination with the Gentle Tarot. This is my linen edition. This is pretty much the one I use now, especially since I have the full-size guidebook. I just use this one. I still have my full-size, the original like Kickstarter one I did, which, you know, she's staying there. I point over here because it's on display. But this is kind of my, it's okay if this gets really beat up kind of thing, which usually I'm not really precious about my decks, but I don't know, something about that full-size one, I'm like, I want it to stay nice. Probably because I have the option of this, honestly. But the combo of these decks just really felt like that flow energy and really taught me more about how I experience it, and it was just really, gosh, I love it so much. I wouldn't be surprised if these decks come out again. I'm about to do the first reading for this week, which is balancing the energies, and I'm not too sure what I want to use yet, so we shall see. But yeah, those were fantastic. Oh, I did bring out again the Heart Align Oracle. I've just been bringing that out constantly, so there's that. The other thing I've been up to lately is making my own flower essences. It has been so much fun. Oh my gosh, so much fun. So I have two to show you here, and I labeled them with little flower fairy stickers. I'm so pleased. I have to get some more packs of these because there's some flowers that I know exist in sticker form. I just don't have them. Like I picked up kind of a makeshift one for yarrow that looks similar. It's not yarrow, but it works, and whatever the flower is, I don't have, so like growing, so it's okay. But I need a nasturtium. Anyways, so I have a milkweed one, which this isn't the flower fairy, but it's a butterfly. Looks like a close enough to a monarch, so that tells me what that is. And then here is I did a white clover flower essence, and I have been loving these. I found a used copy of box, like the deck version of something, I don't know. I saw it pop up on Mercari without doing much research into it, and they were selling it for like $7 or something, so I'll keep you posted on that. But I'm really excited. I just think it's a neat practice because from what I have gathered with my own research is that it's not like making tinctures or that's kind of aimed towards health benefits, like physical health. It's more of utilizing that flower essence in this kind of spiritual way. So I'm really excited about these. I've been loving using them. Yeah, and I think I'm especially excited to be experiencing these during the fall and winter months when I can't really connect with the plants outside. So that has been super, super cool. What else did I want to update you on? Oh, so if you saw my video on spending time with the She-Wolf Tarot, Andy and I have been doing a new practice with our morning readings where we will pick a deck that we have mutually been wanting to really get to know but have just had a hard time doing on our own, and we make it kind of like a body doubling experience. So we spend like a week or two with the deck just for our morning readings. It's been such a good practice. Both of us, like our first one we did was She-Wolf, and both of us were so just blown away by how connected we felt to it. You know, it might not happen with every single deck we do, but it's been fun. And so we've been also starting to take notes for our readings. So how we work it is we kind of switch off days of doing the reading, and then if you're not doing the reading, you're taking the notes. And I got a new notebook. This is the same as my daily journaling notebook, just a different colors, so I can easily tell the difference. Because these are my favorite notebooks. I get them off Amazon. I don't really know. The brand is Flying Eagle. They're big notebooks. They're like 8.5 by 11. And the paper quality is really good. It doesn't get any bleed through, which is why I wanted to get another one of these. Because we're sending pictures back and forth of the notes so that we can transfer them over ourselves. Yeah, these are my favorite notebooks, like you can see. I just kind of started fresh with our one yesterday, was a new moon reading. And look at the back. Like, you can barely see any bleed through. So good. So I'm really excited about that. It just has been nice, like, we recording our readings because we find ourselves all the time being like, ooh, didn't we pull that card like a few days ago? And now we can check. So, loving that. I think that's it. I will probably talk about this again, but I've been very intensely working with this book lately, actually. So I guess it's not it. Here we are again. The Way of Inanna. This is by Sienna Zilazzo. This book is incredible. Oh my gosh, I've been listening to it. I was able to get it through, not my library card, my mom's library card, because they have Hoopla. Which, if your library offers Hoopla, check it out, because it's amazing. So I was able to get the audiobook through Hoopla, so I've been listening to it, and I had to buy a physical copy because the like rituals and practices in here are so good, and I knew I was going to want to reference them and actually do them. So I did one for the new moon yesterday that was so incredible, all about like breaking habits. So good. So I'm sure I'll talk about this again when we get to my favorite decks and books section, but oh my gosh, so good. I already have lined up, which I did buy the book, but I've now gotten into audiobooks, which is so much better for me. So I got from off that library thing, Rachel Pollack's, like the last book she put out, this Forest of Souls or something. You know the one. So, I don't know if I'll get through that before the end of the month, but we shall see. Anyway, now that's it. Hello! So, we just finished up the latest week of monthly medicine. So this was the balance week. So this week was all about balancing that ebb and flow energy. So the deck I used for my focus card again was this mixture I have of the Messenger Oracle and the Seeker Oracle. I love this Oracle so much. It's so good. And the card I got was... Do I have it? Where did it just go? I swear I just put it away. Here it is. The Key to Wisdom, which is such a cool card to work with for the week. Really all about, to me at least, how the message came through. It was all about allowing myself to make mistakes, realizing that I learn more from my mistakes than I do anything else, and leaning into that. So it was really cool to see that come through as the kind of balancing factor. Ooh. Whoopsie. Dropped that. And the other oracle I used was the Earth Wisdom Oracle. Another favorite. Ooh, glare. This one worked for this theme really well too. I really like that this one gives a plant and a crystal to focus on, so it kind of felt like using this deck, I also was given those that I could work with if I wanted to throughout the week. I think I only pulled a card from this once for that reason. I don't remember which one. Oh no, I do know which one it was. Blessed Sight, which had Rhodochrosite, which I do have a palm stone of. I don't know where it went, but I do have a palm stone of that I was using. Well, we'll find it eventually. And lavender. So both a stone and an herb that I work with quite often, so that was pretty cool. So I was able to incorporate that into this week. Last but not least, the tarot I used was the Meraki tarot, and I am so glad I chose to use this. This is one that I've kind of been not going back and forth on, but I feel like the connection, it's been harder pressed to make it, I suppose. And honestly, I think it's just out of not putting the time into it, but this was the perfect deck for this energy. I really, really enjoyed spending time with it this week, and I didn't even have a feeling of like I wanted to pick up another tarot. I wanted to use this for the monthly medicine. It just felt like it worked really well. And again, this is another one where, at least with the big guidebook, which I do have, you get a crystal for each card, but a lot of them have like animals and plants too, which I love. I love working with decks like that, so really, really loved that one. I haven't done today. Today's Monday. I've been a little bit behind with the monthly medicine, but that's okay. But next we've got Currents of Change. I'm really excited to get into that. I don't know if I talked about this last time I was on here, but I finished The Way of Inanna. This book was so good. I listened to the audiobook, and then got a print copy so I could follow along with the rituals in the book, and which is something, like, I know I'm gonna keep going back to this. It was really that good. Yeah, all about the goddess Inanna and her descension and ascension from the underworld. So cool. What else? I bought myself a Barbie today. Isn't that amazing? I have not seen the Barbie movie yet, but just seeing everyone talk about it and the excitement around it and just the, I guess, like, conversation happening around it, I've been really intrigued by. And just like the reason that Barbie was created in the first place, kind of to offer little girls a doll that wasn't a baby doll, showing that like women can do anything they want to do. I feel like I personally lost sight of that reason for Barbie, and so I really wanted to kind of reconnect with that idea. And Barbies are not that expensive, it turns out, depending on which one you get, but a standard Barbie, I think it was like $6? I don't know. I'm excited to have her though. My other exciting thing of today is, let's turn this around, I put up a shelf for my ponies. Isn't that so cute? So I've got my 6 pony figures from, this is the Friendship is Magic. Then in that is my pony playing card deck, or, you know, the game cards. That's a Funko. And then I did get, this is a Gen 2 or 3? I don't know. This is the pony. I'm pretty sure I had this when I was little. If not, a friend had it, and I remember loving it so much because as soon as I saw it, I got it from a shop on Etsy. I was like, oh my gosh, I know that one. That Sparkleworks. So cute. I love it. It's making me so happy. So I think that is, whoa, the last update from today. We're almost at the end of the month already, which feels so crazy. I feel like I haven't kept up with this as well as I have in past months, but I feel like it's just, I haven't had that much going on. I don't know if I've done a garden update, so if I haven't done one of those yet, I'll do that. Because we've got a lot going on in the garden right now. But other than that, I think that's it for now. Hello. So, we've reached the end of the month again. So before I go into my favorite decks and book for the month, I wanted to just recap. I have to charge my watch. Hold on. The last week of the monthly medicine, we had a week all about currents, so thinking about the movement of our ebb and flow, and pretty much I just used the Meraki Tarot and the Abyssal Tarot together. Really interesting combination. Visually, you know, I still don't think they go together, but conceptually, it was cool. I enjoyed my time with that. So, that being said, let's get into what I loved using this month. Starting out with the Chrysalis Tarot. So this was the deck Andy and I moved onto in our deep dive studies after we finished up with She-Wolf. We went to this and it was a lot of fun. I really like this deck. I think the concept is interesting, the whole guidebook is interesting, the symbolism is in it. There really is a lot of interesting things going on in this deck. But what I like about it is it feels like it's really rich with symbolism and sort of like mythological tie-ins, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. So I don't know that I will make a video on this unless it is requested, like I did for She-Wolf, because we didn't spend as long with this deck, because we kind of found it felt almost like a bit of a palette cleanser to shift from She-Wolf to now we are working with the Marielle Tarot, because we just kind of were wanting something that felt a bit, I'm going to use the word deeper, but not to say that there isn't deep meaning in this deck, but just the way in which we've been using it, I suppose. But this was really a lot of fun to get to know better. I really enjoy this deck. I think what we landed on is it feels really like a good one for like an everyday draw kind of deck, because it really isn't super intense in any way, at least how like I feel about it. Which isn't exactly what we are doing with that practice, but it is a really good one. I love it. That is the Chrysalis Tarot. Next, the Herbal Astrology Oracle. I have been loving this. It is so beautiful. I love the color I used to edge it to. I did it in this like dusty rose pink to match some of these spots on the back. I love how that turned out. But this deck is just really cool. After getting to know the She-Wolf, I feel like I suddenly just like understood certain astrological tie-ins, or more to say that I found interest in it finally. That probably combined with doing the deck and walk, but this just feels like the perfect combination of the things I'm liking right now, because I really love using my plant decks now as we are in the height of summer. Everything is getting ready for harvest. I've been working a lot more with herbs and flowers. I've been making flower essences and some of my own just simple tinctures. And it's been a lot of fun, and I really have loved kind of using this alongside that kind of practice. So, Herbal Astrology. That is a good one. Alright, next I feel like I have to talk about, I'm not going to take them all out, but the absolute amazing time I have been having with the Blue Angel Pocket Goddess decks. I now have, I think this is all of them. I have Dreams of Gaia here too. They have their own shelf now. I put up maybe I should show. Let's get them back on the shelf so it looks nice. Hold on. It sits right over my desk here for easy access. But I had this shelf I thrifted 1,000,001 years ago. That just seemed like it would be perfect, so I put it up so that I could display my pocket goddess decks, and I've been really loving it. I've been doing this really cool reading, kind of tied in with the Marielle, and so if anyone would be interested in seeing that, it's like a kind of using the directions, and I think it's like the, I want to say it's the Wiccan associations with the like 4 directions, but I don't know. Anyways, if that sounds interesting, let me know, but I've been loving using those. Next, the Wild Unknown Alchemy. I feel like I've been talking about this so much, but it just really has pleasantly surprised me. I I don't want to keep repeating myself saying like I never thought I'd be interested in alchemy. Here I am. But it's true. That's really the case with this deck, is like I just didn't think I was gonna get it, and it feels really approachable, which makes me so excited. I love the concepts I've been learning in here. I am currently in a temperance year, and I've been loving viewing it through that alchemical lens rather than so much like purely just the concept of balance. It's just been so fun to use. I've been loving how it's pairing with so many different decks that I wouldn't have expected. I'm really liking Kim Kranz's artwork. I think this might be my favorite of hers that I have right now. It's so fun. I don't even mind the shape. I feel like the shape works and it's cool. So, Wild Unknown Alchemy. Next up, I have the... Do I want to show these yet? Did I put these in my last kind of monthly or decks I've brought in? I did. Okay, so Wisdom of the Divine Feminine and Shadow. Oh my gosh. These have been so cool and so amazing to get to know. I'm not gonna take them out because 2 decks at once, and I feel like I have to show them together because I use them together, and it's been this really cool concept, I feel like, of digging into the shadow while also bringing it back into kind of this heart space, for lack of better words there. I've really been loving that, and I want to try pairing it with the Dark Days Tarot and the Mother Tarot, which I had the Dark Days Tarot and found a used copy of the Mother Tarot, and I feel like it's gonna be really cool using them alongside these. Alright, next, the combined Messenger, I never remember the other one, Seeker Oracle. This one came out for Monthly Medicine again, and just such a favorite. I think this deck is beautiful. I love everything about it. I don't know how much more I can possibly say. I feel like I show this constantly, but I used it for so many of the weeks for Monthly Medicine that I feel like I couldn't not show it again, and I just think it's amazing. So, that one real quick. And last but not least, we've got some additions to my own creations that were really exciting this month. So, first and foremost, what was on pre-order this month and came in, and I am in the midst of shipping them out, is a new expansion for the Cottage Witch Oracle. And this one I called Into the Garden because it was completely inspired by my gardening adventures this year. So it's really mostly a lot of flowers I wanted to include. We have a few creatures. These are just some of the cards I pulled out, not all of them, but this was so much fun to make, and I love adding cards to this kind of world I've built. This will probably be the last one for quite some time because I'm moving on to some other projects, but now I think the deck is at like 100 something cards, so I feel like that's any bigger and it's gonna become unwieldy, but that was really cool to see through this month. And I also came out with a printed guidebook, which I never really thought I would do, but I love how it came out. This is not the final version. This was kind of my test print, but same cover, back cover and such. I've got all the entries in here. I really love how it turned out. So that was really cool too. And last, I got a test print of a deck I still don't have a name for, but it is a collage deck combining the sort of myths of certain deities with plant lore. I don't quite know how to explain that well, but I got a test print in, and I'm so excited about it. There's a few cards I need to kind of go back and rework a bit, but overall, I'm really happy with it. Again, it still has no name. I don't know. Someday it'll come to me. But I've really been loving working with this since the test print came in. I don't know, I really like the concept. Not to toot my own horn weirdly, but I am pleased. I'm really excited about this. So this is kind of the next project I am moving on to. I don't know any sort of timeline, because again, there is no name. But in terms of like the cards themselves, they're ready to rumble. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 that I was kind of like, I could do that a bit better, but for the most part, very pleased with how this came out. So, that is my last favorite. Oh, here's the backs too. I think the backs are going to stay the same, because I do like those. That's my last favorite deck of the month, and we only have one book favorite, and I've already talked about this, so we won't spend too long, but The Way of Inanna by Sienna Salazzo. Oh my gosh. So incredibly good. I listened to it as an audiobook, got the printed copy so I can like continually go back to the rituals. This was just really, really cool and really a great sort of lead into starting to work more with the concept of the divine feminine, because that's not really anything I have looked into. Not to say I haven't looked into it, but I haven't specifically dove into that, and that's just what I have been really feeling called to lately, and this, oh my gosh, this was the best jumping off point. I am now listening to Mary Magdalene Revealed. That is amazing as well, but not quite finished, so I didn't want to put it in this favorite just yet, but that's all I got. So, I hope you all had a fantastic month. I would love to hear what you loved working with this month, any fun things you did. But other than that, I'll see you again very soon.